difference.
Um, I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, do you want to introduce yourself?
Um, yeah, so my name is Stephenie. I'm a third year student at UNCC. My majors are communication studies, with a concentration in media and technology, and also I have a double major in English with the concentration in creative writing, and my minor is film studies.
Nice, nice. Um, so do you want to tell me how you first got involved with the Hispanic and Latino community at UNCC?
It was definitely my freshman year. I remember I went to the student org showcase and I was looking for clubs or organizations that I feel like where I could find other people who share an identity with me. I can't remember which club it was, but I definitely remember going to like HCAB, LXSU,
Mm,
Lasso, and making new friends from there. So that was really nice to see.
that's cute. Also, do you want to preface with like your ethnicity?
Oh, yeah, so yeah, I'm half Latina, so I'm African American and Mexican. Um, I don't exactly identify as Afro-Latina just because I don't have a black parent who is from Latin America. I think I fit more into mixed race, like Latino and African American. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. And what motivated you to participate in the programs you listed before?
Mm, I guess just thinking about like when you go into college, you meet so many people or you see so many people that come from different backgrounds, and it was just a little bit overwhelming to go into a PWI because most of the schools that I went to were they had a pretty diverse population of students. So I wanted to be in places that grounded me when I was surrounded by other people who didn't look like me or who didn't share the same culture experiences as me.
Mm-hmm. And can you share a specific example of how a community project has impacted your life or the life of someone else, you know?
Yeah, so recently, about a month or two ago, um, there's been a lot of tension and a lot of anxiety surrounding the Hispanic community and ICE. I can't remember what the acronym is for, but so in response to that, I joined a community where there was one student who organized a group of us to make red cards, and basically they list your constitutional rights in the worst case that you are approached by ICE. And it was just really nice to come together with other people who have family who could be affected and just, sharing our stories about how we can protect our community, how we can advocate for them. And yeah, I made friends from there. I feel like it was very community building, and we each went to our hometowns or our shops or restaurants that we go to often and find our homes in, and we're able to pass those cards out to them. And they were very appreciative of it, and it was just really nice to see, like, just seeing how much we have our backs in our communities.
I'm glad. Was that like for one certain oh something the noise just happened, sorry. um was that like one specific club that started it or just like students from like all over just were like, hey, like we want to spread more awareness?
Kind of the girl that started it is an e-board member from LXSU, the Latin X Student Union, but it wasn't necessarily like um an event by them. It was more so just like a sense of urgency thing, like you saying, "Hey, I'm thinking of making red cards. Let me know if you want to be a part of this. I can make a big group chat and we can all meet at different times whenever you guys are available to make them in." Like we each contributed, like some people paid for printing, some people went out and got the cards, some people like went out and had the template. So yeah, it was a very like collective group thing.
That's cool. And um, I think you touched a little bit on it on your response to the previous one, but what do you think are the most important issues that need to be addressed in the Hispanic community?
Um, yeah, I guess political issues, like it's important for us who have Hispanic family members to be able to advocate for them when they are at risk for deportation or just being targeted in the political climate of today. Um, but also I think maybe just cultural issues and looking within ourselves to overcome some of those, I guess, toxic beliefs, if you will. I know there's a better word for this, but just breaking those toxic cycles that maybe some of us grew up with or that our parents grew up with and being able to challenge them like with masculinity, for example. I think growing up we kind of have a certain attitude about what it means to be masculine, what it means to be feminine, like what your place is as a woman and a man. And yeah, I think it's like we're responsible for challenging those ideologies and break those cycles so that within the next generation they don't have to grow up with the same type of challenges that we did.
Hmm. And how do you feel about the support and resources that UNC Charlotte provides for Hispanic students?
Um, I would say, well, it's there, but I don't think it's as prioritized as other resources that are provided for students. I think that like one of the main reasons why I feel like I have community or that I have resources is because of other students who just have that passion for building a Latino community. Um, like one thing that comes to mind is the Platicas talk support space, and it's not like a specific schedule thing. It's more of like maybe once every 2 months. And while that is nice to have, I think definitely it's not as prioritized, like I said. Like it's not, it's more of a recreational, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Recreational thing. Yeah.
How would you describe the Practica support space to like someone who's like never heard of it? Because in my mind, I feel like it's kind of like a Hispanic group therapy session, but I don't know. I don't know if that's like the right way to describe it. But how would you?
Um, well, yeah, I guess it is a little bit of group therapy, like a support group. Um, but most of the time it would just be us students talking about our experiences within our identity at UNCC. Um, we might share some of our own cultural stories growing up, like having that relatability to one another. Um, that's about it. But it is nice, like being able to speak your mind in that space.
Mm-hmm. And what improvements or changes would you suggest if you had to?
Mm, I would honestly just consistency. I like the idea of the support space because I feel like as students, we don't really like even ourselves, we don't prioritize that time to think about what's on our minds, worried about like even if we do go to the therapy sessions that are offered, like some of the counselors probably won't relate or identify with the same kind of experiences. Um, and also maybe just cultural events. I think I know that might sound silly, but I think a lot of people get homesick and they look for home within food and dances and music.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that really brings people together. Just like hearing a song that's nostalgic or dancing something that you used to dance to when you were younger, I think is really, it can be really healing in a way. So I would say, yeah, just the consistency in the events.
Yeah, I don't think that's silly at all, though. I think this like kind of unrelated, but I feel like it still kind of relates. But like I'm think like other schools like UNC and NC State and like more of an effort to like create a more of a larger Hispanic community.
Mm.
It's like cookouts with like all the Hispanic organizations, and it's like obviously like cultural foods, and I thought always thought that was nice. I'm not totally aware if UNCC does similar things, but yeah.
I've seen it, but it's more like within the fraternities and
Mm.
like the specific Latin organizations, not like fully represented specifically by UNCC or CAPS.
Okay.
Oh, also another thing, I think workshops would be like a really cool idea. Like, um, I know I can't remember which part of UNCC does this, but they do say like procrastination workshops,
Oh yeah.
like identifying your stressors and how to address them whenever you feel like you're procrastinating. So things like that I feel like would be nice, like maybe deconstructing toxic masculinity or machismo, like topics like that that I feel like are relevant to the Hispanic community would be helpful.
Mm-hmm. And what role do you think local organizations and businesses should play in supporting community initiatives?
Mm, I think spreading awareness about these kind of events would bring a larger audience and
Mm-hmm.
more people to the events, and also maybe being involved with the community with like say like scholarships or grants that they offer to motivate students to continue their higher education and to be more passionate about like making a difference within their community.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know some uh, organizations on campus, they do partner up with local businesses and they have like, oh, I can't remember the exact thing. I know there was this one event that LXSU was promoting and the CEO of Compare Foods was going to be there. So yeah, just having those connections of networking and broadening their those horizons professionally, I think is very helpful for students.
Mm-hmm. And the last question I want to ask you is, what are your hopes for the future of Hispanic students' mental health or Hispanics in general?
Um, I do have high hopes actually. I feel like our generation is very brave and very outspoken about issues that are happening in our community, and I can see like we're slowly breaking away from those ideas of like men don't cry. I feel like, I mean, you still see it a little bit, but I think people are more comfortable with sharing their thoughts, sharing their emotions, and trying to connect with their community and advocating for them. So I do have high hopes, but at the same time, I think it's important to be consistent with that and not just, say all the work is done whenever, you put on one event. Like
Mm,
you still need to put in the work and make sure that that continues beyond you.
I think that's very, very true and a great response. But thank you so much for answering these questions. I
Yes.
enjoyed talking to you, obviously, but I appreciate all your help and input.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I was like feeling anxious because I'm like, I don't know if my responses are good if they're too vague or something.
No, I like them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.